Okay, guys, welcome back. I took a little bit of a break on the snowblower, the Craftsman snowblower with the Tecumseh motor, and I did some cleaning yesterday. You know, a little bit of pressure washing, whatever. And this machine here, nice Craftsman with the old Tecumseh motor. In fact, the muffler goes through the body. See this big hole here? All right. There's just that cable is broken. There's just some things on us. These are the front drive, but they don't really make these. They don't make it like this anymore. The handle is borked. So where am I going with this? Well, the guy that had it, I don't know what the heck he did to the carburetor. So you can see somebody used something on there. Boy, that's like taking off an old oil filter with channel locks. So I don't want to restore this mower. And if you remember back, I did the snowblower engine. We just put the head back on, saying that I need a gasket. I really would like to replace the gasket, and we got over 100 pounds of pressure on it after I honed it. So here's what I'm thinking. Okay, again, cleaning up yesterday, weekend, Sunday, and Saturday, doing a few things. Let's part this stuff out. And I said, and I was thinking the other night, I'm like, well, maybe the head gasket. I have a couple of Tecumseh motors laying around. Let me clean up and let me see. So I took this off, the head off, and the head is just beautiful. Look at that. Just beautiful. Came right off, felt like it was a little loose. And what's staring at me but this perfect gasket. And really, basically, an engine that's in good shape. So let's go forward. This is a gasket. I think it's going to fit right on that machine. If we take it right over to here, you know, they're all basically 5 horsepower engines. If we take it right over here and we just lay it on top, we can see all the bolt holes basically line up. Of course, you can't really confirm until you take it all apart and put it back together again, but that's what we're going to do today. We're going to get that motor back. You see, I cleaned the machine, right? Cleaned it yesterday. That motor shines. We'll put a little clear coat on it. I don't need to do anything else to it. Let's get that motor running. We'll get the cover painted today. I cleaned the cover off. It's drying. I should put it outside and let it dry in the sun and the wind and the air. And we'll get that painted. We'll put it back on. It just needs a little bit of paint. Nothing really. You know, I'll probably paint it in place after we put everything back on. It's just a little bit up here where the brackets for this goes. So I got that cleaned up. Okay, guys, I cleaned up the head. But before I clean this in here, I just wanted to show you, after running it that little bit that we ran it, this is what it looks like. See? So, and a little bit of water, got a tiny few droplets. This one's got a, by the way, then the lawnmower motor's got a smaller exhaust valve than this motor, for example. Interesting, huh? So the motors are a little different. Let's get that gasket and just lay it on here, just to make sure. We're going to lay it on the block, and it just fits perfect. Okay, so there's our head gasket. So let me go scrape that off. We'll clean off the surface area. We're just going to use a scraper and blow everything out, and that's it. We'll put it all back together and we'll torque it down. Beautiful. All right, wipe it off, blow it off. All right, let's load in the gasket. Wipe off the gasket. Don't have to make it mint, guys. Make sure all the carbon's out of the way and blow it off so there's no debris. Doesn't need to be super mint. Lube up your bolts. Just make sure the gasket's wiped off. Again, no debris. There's nothing else to do to it. That's perfect. Put a little oil on all your head bolts. on torque. But we're just going to snug it for now because we have to put on a few other parts. So I'm going to lay in these, especially the shorter ones, and then I'm just going to lightly snug just to hold everything, and then we got to put on a few more parts. I'm going to zoom you in just a little bit. I know it gets a little grainier, but that's okay. 200 inch-pounds in 50-pound increments. So, and again, like I said, make sure you put oil up your bolts. I had to stop to put the cover on, and I sprayed the aluminum with some clear. This way, it's done. It looks good, and I removed a little bit of the rust from the top. And we can repaint that later because we have some other things to put on. Yeah, so we're going to tighten that down. One more thing I got to put on. So I want to put the muffler on, but I got to put this on. So we're going to have to take those bolts out. So we want to make sure this goes on. Okay guys, it's all on. Sorry, I don't know how much I got because the batteries died and I was concentrating, but I tried to show you. 200 inch-pounds in 50-pound increments, okay? Just lightly snug it, starting with this bolt next to the plug hole. Come to here, into here, then to here, into here, then to here, here, and here, okay? 200 inch-pounds in 50-pound increments. Everything else is on this way here. We're going to put the this back, the starter, excuse me, and a few other things. Let me see what else I need to do, and then we're going to fire it. I want to make sure the plug is good and clean. I think I got one cleaned up, and we'll get everything hooked up and we'll fire it up. All right, guys, let's start it. All right, everything's together. Let me just put a little bit of lube. Oh, I see gas burning out. We got gas leaking. Oh, hold on, hold on. Put it up this way. Hold on. That's why we check. Looks like we need to replace the fuel line. Yeah, she's not long enough. Okay. All right, so we got a problem there. All right. For some reason or other, the fuel line's not long enough now. And a couple of things we can do is we could put a filter in. And you can't see it, but I don't want to piss out all my gas. Let me go see what I want to do with that. Or I can replace that whole fuel line. Okay, I put a quick fuel line on. Filter fuel line adaptation. And I don't have to keep it, but let's just see. I don't see why not. It's just an extra filter. You don't really have room for it with these things. So let's prime it, choke it, turn that on. Let's give it a pull. Okay, we're going to let some of the paint cook for a little bit and let everything else cook for a little. Seems like it's running really good. If I let this paint just cool down, now it'll be on there just about forever. I really like that paint. It's a Rust-Oleum high temp. So we're just going to let it cool down, and we're going to check it again in a few minutes. I just want to lube a few things up over here. There's not a lot of fuel in it, but I want to run it again. Maybe we'll do a quickie test, compression test, see if she's coming back up. You know, let it run a little bit. It hasn't run in a long time. It needs an oil change for sure. But we'll stir up the junk and then we'll do the oil. Be back in a few minutes. We'll run it again. Well, surprisingly enough, that round-bodied extension cord thing fit in there. Let's check it. All right. Let's go back to a little bit of choke, all the way up on that. We'll prime it a couple of times just to see. All right, and we should be ready to go. It doesn't need any carburetor work. Notice it runs a lot better. So we're done with this, all right? I'm going to go and straighten up a little, and we'll get to the next step in a little while. Okay, guys, we're all done. We're going to do a last test. Just want to get you around it. Now over here, I just put a standard Tecumseh adapter on. You can always get a box of that. I'll look it up. If it doesn't sell like this. All right, let's do a starting it up test. Prime it. Rolling on me, just so you can see there when you want to adjust the Tecumseh like this, and I'm going to take the camera off here. All right, you got two adjustments. All right, first thing you need to do, and my battery's going to die, but the first thing you need to do is make sure that you set the governor. All right, so to set the governor on this thing, you got to make sure the throttle's wide open. Grab this with a pair of needle nose or something. Turn that all the way to the right, push this all the way to the right, and then tighten this down. And you need like 3 thumbs. Okay. I'll make a video on that. Then I moved mine up, the spring up a notch. Okay. To get it up to that RPM. And then, so the battery cut out, so we'll do it one more time. So, once you've done the governor spring, you can then adjust this screw at full RPM to dial it in. But when you come down to an idle, notice it hits this stop here. you can bend that to get the desirable idle. And of course you want to come down, you know, let the spring tension off, let the cam do its thing, and then stop before you hit this tang, because that's the kill tang that shorts it out. Okay, so if you have any questions on that, we'll do another one of these again. So this thing runs about 5,000 RPMs. They tend to run a little higher on snow blowers for the power, but it's running really, really good. It's got a lot of power. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and tomorrow's Christmas, so somebody's going to get this. And thanks for watching. You know, stay tuned for the next, the next project. This became a went from a will it run. Is it even worth it, to a full build, and I think it came out really good. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. But just for a quick recap, remember this thing came in with a stuck valve and a fork carburetor and a whole bunch of things, but nothing really that bad. I mean, look at it, it's pretty nice. I like it. Alright, we'll be back on the next one. I'll see you on the round trip, and don't forget, okay, if it ain't fixed, it's probably broken. Put your hands on everything, check everything out, at least make sure it's tight, and just try, keep working on projects until you get success. I'll see you guys later. Alright, so I went back to this motor. Remember, I said to you I wanted to do a swap. So I got the carb out. This is the one I want for the other motor. And so now what we're going to do is, this seems to be okay, this gasket. Just be careful, because if you don't have a good gasket, you'll have a vacuum leak. So we're going to take the carb I like, and we're going to put it on this motor. Alright? This one has all the correct stuff for it. And we need these parts. Alright? So we're going to take these parts off. Because these parts, actually we need the parts from the other as well. So let me see what I can do. Let me see, because I need those parts. These parts here to put on that carb. But we may have them on that the big Toro. Okay, this fuel line's damaged too, and all this has got to come back apart again, because I damaged it taking it off, because it's old, right? It's no good. So we need to do this fuel line, but we can put the carb back and tighten it, because I had to get this bolt out, that screw, and it doesn't want to come out, and I couldn't do it on the on the bench. So let's put all this back. If I can get to it. Yeah. Just put a plier back here, just to hold that enough, keep it from spinning. You getting it? I think so. Once it tightens a little bit more. But this motor ran good, so we tested it, we fixed it. This is the one, again, this is the one that had the stuck valve. And we put a new head gasket on. Get this nice and tight. Alright, that's tight. Make sure this is getting tight. Turn it a little. See if we could get it. It's a different size. I just want to give it a grab. That's enough. Alright. So let's just throw that on there so that we don't have that leaking constantly. That's good enough. Alright. Now this one doesn't seem long enough, because it doesn't seem to want to fit no matter which way I go. I can't get it to go on the primer. So I bought some longer ones to see if I could solve that problem. But this is done. Alright. We just need to take this off, because this gets... Now if this doesn't come off, we'll go with a vice grip. Because you can hold it a different way. Nope. Vice grip. Alright, that happens. So I got to get that off. I need that. I need that. Old stuff. Come on, baby. I know I'm bending it a little. That's okay. Just want to make sure I'm getting it off. I'll straighten it out later. Come on, you coming off or what? Yep. Alright. Thank you. Thank you for participating. See? Now, let's just put this on here. Uh-oh. What did I do? Couldn't have bent it that much. What the hell did I do? Just see what's going on here quick. You know it goes there, right? How did I just do that? It's like all of a sudden now it doesn't fit. What do you want to tell me what the hell I'm doing wrong before I screw this all up? It's got to be like this somehow. That's what it feels like. It feels like it's like that. Oh, for God's sakes. Okay. Let's see if I got it right. Yeah. Tighten it up. Alright. Okay, that's done. Let's go put this back, put this away. Alright, we're done with that. See how that muffler came out? This one's really nice. Alright, so we're going to put this one back. somewhere. I don't know where to put it. We'll put it on the floor for now. But so this is our motor for the other machine, quite possibly, and I'm going to need to put on some new hose. So we need to take this back apart again in the future before we mount it. But it's good to go, and this is the carburetor for it. Okay. And even though I have another carburetor, but that's fine. Alright, let's bring this up on the table. And give me a minute.